Hey barbecue friends, today we're talking ribs, specifically the 3-2-1 method. Is this method a method you should follow? Does it work? Today we're going to give it a shot. We're going to try and find out because we're all jonesing for some barbecue. Today I've got 2 racks of ribs. I've got 1 rack of spare ribs and I've got 1 rack of baby back ribs. Now take a look at these. I got these at a great deal Safeway. I think maybe because they're a little bit thin, but for our purposes these are going to work really good. Let's get them unwrapped. Now I've got these unwrapped, patting them down, get some of this excess moisture off of them. Taking a look at the back side. Gonna get the membrane off. You can see there's a little cut in this one. Probably be just cutting that off. All right, let's get a knife, get the membrane off. Okay, just reach under. This membrane kind of out. Get your paper towel. Grab hold. Start pulling for dear life. I hope it comes off. Not too bad. We got half there. If I would have started this here, we would have got the whole thing going. All right. Not bad. Not bad at all. Stick your knife under, get that kind of cut off and going. Grab a hold, look at that, that was nice. A couple reasons why we want to get that membrane off. It's kind of tough to chew. Number 2, the seasoning won't penetrate as well. Probably a good idea. These look real good, I don't have to trim much. You know, I think I'm even going to leave that connected there. I think we'll be okay. I'm not even going to trim a bit on these things. I think they look good enough to go. They were trimmed up pretty good, looks like, before they got them put in the package. Some might trim that end off there, but I like to leave it. It might be a little more done, but I still like to get as much meat out of as I can. Alright, so as we put on our rubs, let's talk the premise of the 3-2-1 method. The first step is the 3. That's cook your ribs for 3 hours. Now, first of all, that 3 hours might be a little too long, especially on what you're going to cook. Now, if you're going to cook it at 250, probably going to go less. You're looking maybe 2 to 2.5 hours, but we're doing it by look. We're not doing it by time. So that's what I've learned from all the barbecue greats is we're cooking everything by looks and feel and nothing by time. So today for one of our rubs we're going to use the Honey Hog Barbecue from Meat Church. Just saw his video where he used this exact combination here the other day. You could use a binder if you want, and in fact, let's do that. Let me get the mustard. Alright, we're going to use mustard as a binder. So let's get that mustard on here. Get it rubbed in. You know, first of all, real men smell like barbecue. And number 2, real men don't use gloves. Let's get messy. No, just kidding. I do use gloves sometimes, but not in this instance. We're not going to do it. So we got our coat of mustard on. Now let's get our first layer of rub on. Today will also be a good test of spare ribs versus back ribs and what we like better. I usually go with the spare ribs because I just find they're easier than the back ribs because of this curvature. but I know a lot of people like the back ribs. First time I've gone with this rub method here, so we'll see how this goes as well, but I think it should be real good. There's nothing bad about meat church. Okay, get our second layer of mustard on here. I do have to say, in these back ribs, this top part of them here looks really good. And to think I got these for $6 each at Safeway, that is a deal in of itself. All right, so we had our 3 hours for our first step in the 3-2-1 method. Second step is to take it off, wrap, put it back on for 2 hours. Now the fallacy in that step is you really got to keep an eye on this portion. It's probably the most important part of the cook. If you go for the 2 hours, don't take a look at them at all, they're probably going to be overdone. The pullback's going to be too much, and then that extra last step you're not really going to want to do. Okay, we got the first layer on. We're going to get that set in for a few minutes. We're going to go fire up the grill. So today we're going to cook at 250. So let's go to 250, set, and ignite. This is our Traeger Silverton 810 model from Costco. Take a quick look on the inside. We'll get this thing fired up. We'll get the ribs on. All right, we've let our first layer sweat in, both sides. I've got it turned over, ready for our second layer. For that, we're going to use the Holy Gospel. All right, we've talked about the first two in the 3-2-1 method, the 3 and the 2. Now we're going to talk about the 1. And this one is definitely the one that you don't want to do 1 hour. The third step is putting on your sauce and then letting that set for 1 hour. Now seriously, if you do that for 1 hour, you've probably over-tacked up your sauce, and number 2, you've really got your ribs overcooked. So that one step should totally be named something different. So here's the Barbecue Jones method that we're gonna go with. We're gonna call it the 2-ish tack method. We go about 2-ish hours or more, the first step, get them wrapped, then we go almost 2-ish hours, checking on our pullback. Then we're gonna go on the tack. The tack step is where you put on your sauce and then you let that tack up 15 minutes, probably at most. Because in that third step, you basically already got your ribs cooked. You're just getting the sauce on and you're getting it tacked up. So you don't need it an hour. So that's why I'm going to call it the 2-ish tack method. Okay, we've got them flipped over to do the top side. I think this is going to be a pretty nice flavoring. Real excited about it. So as our grill finishes coming up to temp, we'll let this set in and we'll get them on. The rub's sweated in, the Traeger's up to temp. Let's get them on the grill. One nice thing about heat in Arizona is it doesn't take long for this to preheat. You can go sideways with these today. You want to get these just like you want them to cook. Kind of compress them a bit. All right, it's 12:30. We're gonna put a timer on to see exactly how long this step takes. All right, we've been on for 1 hour. We're gonna take a look, spritz, see how we're doing. I'd say we're looking pretty good. Let's give it a spritz. Gonna check it about every hour, 45 minutes or so. Those are golden there. He's looking good. All right. The lid open for too long. We're at the 2 hour mark. Let's take a look. Here, we're looking for color. We're looking to see if our rub is coming off. Okay, at this point, maybe got just a bit coming off, but not much. Our color's looking pretty good, getting dark. We're just over 2 hours. Our 3-2-1 method would tell us to go ahead and wait another hour. I don't think it's gonna be an hour, but we're gonna give it maybe 20 minutes and then see where we're at. All right, we're at 2 hours and 45 minutes. Take a look at the temps. 155, 160. Color looks good. Bark is clean to the touch. Not much is coming off except where it was a little bit wet earlier. Let's wrap them. These look really good. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take a couple of pads of butter. And sometimes I only do the front. But here I think since they're baby backs and it's going to be a little harder for them to touch the bottom with the juices, I'm going to go ahead and do this side as well. So we just take a little bit of brown sugar, got our butter pad, dash of honey. All right, call that good. Now I'm going to just kind of move this over just a little bit. Here on the bottom, we're going to make a little base. Do 4 pads. Okay, get down our brown sugar layer, our honey layer. All right, look at that. That's what you call something delicious. All right, we want to wrap these nice and tight with 2 layers of foil. One rack ready to go back on. Any of these ends you don't really want, so we are going to just kind of pick those off, dispose of. Nothing that's very tasty. All right, now we'll do the same. Go ahead and do a layer on the front and the back on this one. Why not? All right, brown sugar, honey. Looks like we're gonna get into the new bottle. Yeah, let's lay the pad down for the bottom. Brown sugar. Okay, honey layer. All right, get those on. All right, get this wrapped. All right, put them back on the grill, top side down. Finish these off. Getting these back on the grill. It is 3:25. Let's see how long it's going to take us. All right, it's been 1 hour. We're going to take a look. All right, so here, not a lot of pullback. I'm guessing we need more time. Temping at 176. Definitely need more time on that one. All right, look at those baby backs. Ooh. 180. 180 there. Need more time. Let's check them in 30 minutes. Maybe the 3-2-1 method is proper. Well, I will be a son of a gun. Take a look at this. Look at our pullback. Look at our temperature. 2 2:01. It's been 2 hours. I sit corrected. We're just real close here, just at 200. 202 on the thin side. Alright, let's check the baby backs. So we've got the pullback on these. Ripping in the sauce. 203, 206. Those nice and easy, those are done. Got a little bit of bend in them. All right, for our barbecue sauce, we're going with Blues Hog Original. It's the first time I've tried this. Got it off the How to Barbecue Right website. I think this will be delicious. Just warmed it up a bit. Always use warm sauce on your ribs. Nice color. Much of a mess. Oh man, those are going to be pretty. Look at that. I feel like I'm painting the Mona Lisa here. Man, the color of this Blues Hog Original is that gorgeous dark red. Look at that, folks. Alright, we're going to close this lid and let this tack up. Alright. It's been about 20 minutes. Our sauce is tacking up. Those look gorgeous. We're gonna take them off. All right, so here we go. We've been resting. Let's get them cut up. These turned out pretty beautiful, I think. Nice and juicy. Let's see what one looks like. Looking good. Let's see how they taste. I'm going to take an end piece, bite it. Give it a shot here. 1 second. I think we have another winner on our hands. So tonight I set out to disprove the 3-2-1 method for cooking ribs. And what I found is it's actually pretty close. So I'd say if you use the method, instead of going for 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, you still always go by look, by feel, and by temperature. That's always your best gauges. If it comes out to 3-2-1, you know, not so bad. But otherwise, you probably could be done a little bit sooner. Cook these ribs at 250 for the first 3 hours. Took them off after about 2 hours and 45 minutes to get them wrapped. Then, in the wrap, actually did cook it for exact 2 hours. Then for the last step, we put on the barbecue sauce, let it tack up about 20 minutes. So that's the step where you're going to deviate from the 1 hour. Probably only going to do that about 20 minutes, because at that point your ribs are going to be cooked to about 202. So you don't have to go that last hour. The total cook time with the rest, you're looking pretty much just right on 6 hours. These ribs turned out delicious. The meat church, we used the honey barbecue, and we also used the Holy Gospel. And then for the sauce, it was the Blues Hog Original. Great combinations. I recommend that combination to anybody. So I'm going to get back, watch the rest of the Suns Bucks game. In the meantime, be thinking about your next cook. Barbecue for some friends and some family, because we all know
We're jonesing for some barbecue.
And just watch this finger right here, just so it doesn't.
Okay.